Okay, here you can see in my MetaMask under the Ethereum network, I have my USDC and a little bit for fees, but we're pretty much ready to convert this. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to do the swap. I don't need to have it max, but sometimes that's helpful. I'm only going to do like $5 worth right now because we're going to pretend this is like we're funding a brand new MetaMask. And then this coin right here, we're going to change it. I'm going to start with the Ethereum coin. Now, you see these two Ether coins? It can be confusing because there are two different types of Ethereum in the crypto world. You have your Ethereum on the Ethereum network, that's this one. It's a lighter blue for MetaMask. The token looks like that. And then there's the Ethereum that has a brighter color blue, and that's on your base network. Both of these, it depends on which network you're working in for whatever project. If you, let's say you bought a coin, or you're working in a project where you need to operate off of the base network, the gas fee for the base network is your Ethereum, but it has to be the base form of Ethereum. And you can see I have both of these funded, and that's because I have some assets in the base network that are inside my MetaMask wallet. So don't get confused between these two coins. It's very easy to do in MetaMask. You want the Ethereum with, as you can see, this icon right here. It's just slightly lighter than the darker blue here on the base network. So get used to recognizing the difference, and you're going to select the Ethereum that is on the Ethereum network. And I wish there was a more clear way to show the difference, but it looks like that Ethereum symbol right here on that one. Whereas when you go back to our swap here on the Ethereum, you'll notice that this one has a slightly different looking icon, and that's the base icon right here in that little image right here. So you're looking for the Ethereum on Ethereum, and it looks like a copy of the same Ethereum network symbol. So the first thing we're gonna do to fund this wallet is we're gonna take our USDC that we sent in out of Coinbase. We're gonna convert it $5 worth. Now, don't get confused by these weird 0.00214 or whatever comes up on your screen. It'll vary depending on how much Ethereum costs, and it'll tell you how much, a fraction of that Ethereum coin you're going to receive. It is still $5. There's a little bit of a fee that goes out when you're making this conversion, but that is nothing to be concerned about, because that's just part of the process when you're funding your coin. When you're buying a very expensive coin, it comes out fractionated like this, and Ethereum doesn't go dollar for dollar like USDT and USDC. Those tokens are US dollar for US dollar, and so that's why it looks different when we're transferring to Ethereum. Same thing goes for Binance as well. I'm going to hit swap, view activity. You can see it is pending right now, but once we're done with this one going through, then we're going to go back into tokens, and it will show up in the token. And so my Ethereum right now, oh, there it goes. You can see the higher dollar amount. It just jumped right here from my $3 I had in here. And if this is the first time you're funding a wallet, then you're going to be seeing this, Ethereum show what it was saying it was going to convert to. Now, the next coin we're going to do, we'll click back on USDC, and we're going to hit swap again. And we're going to do another $5. You can just put your 5 in here. Click on this coin right here. And now it's the BNB section of the wallet that we want to convert to. And this is how we do it. USDC, on the Ethereum network, and then we're converting to BNB on Binance. And basically BNB is in the yellow, and they're both yellow here on MetaMask. I just want to point this out. If you're in a different no KYC wallet, if you're using a different no KYC wallet such as Trust Wallet and you're trying to fund your gas fees this way, the BNB on Trust Wallet is a different looking symbol. Why? Because there was somebody who made a fake BNB, and it's something that happens on some of these no KYC wallets where people will make a fake token in order to try to pilfer money from you, I guess. So just be aware there's some fake ones that look like this coloring in the Trust Wallet, but in your MetaMask, you're totally good to just grab the token BNB that looks like this. But just be aware of that on Trust Wallet, and particularly there it still uses the right symbol, but it's like a black with a yellow icon. And I'm just pointing that out. We're just doing a video here on funding MetaMask. It's our preferred no KYC wallet for a lot of our projects because it is simpler and it doesn't have nearly as many counterfeit coins in it. At least I haven't found any counterfeit ones like I found on Trust Wallet. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and swap USDC to the BNB. We'll go ahead and do that right now. And of course, you're going to get slightly less than $5 because of the fees. Okay, so we can see here under the view activity, it has gone through, it's confirmed. We can click on tokens and you can see the BNB. It's going to be jumping here up from that price as soon as it goes through. Sometimes it takes a little bit for BNB to display. And I've noticed on some of my swaps, occasionally, even though, you look on activity, it looks like it's been confirmed. This activity that I just tried to do, I'm going to go ahead and look at the Ethereum activity. It looks like everything has gone through. And for some reason, sometimes on the BNB chain, when I am transferring funds, it doesn't go through right away, and I have to click around, go to a different network, and then go back. And now you see my BNB is funded. And sometimes I have to log all the way out and go back in to get the BNB funded. So don't be alarmed if you see, that it's not displaying the amount you transferred from one coin to another within MetaMask. It's just a matter of time and it will show up, or you may just have to log out and log back in or change networks and go between the Ethereum network and the BNB network. Now I want to show you real quick here in Ethereum. Now the last thing that you're going to do with this remaining amount of USDC is convert to whatever token is needed for your project. If your project will take a Tether USDT on the Ethereum network, that's ERC20, then all you have to do is swap into that token here. You'll click the remaining amount and you can see we have more than enough, $114. And I just do that just to be conservative. You can swap, let's say because it's dollar for dollar, and let's say we're going to do let's just say we'll do the USDT on the regular ERC network, which is Ethereum. You would select it like this. This is the cheapest route when you're just working on Ethereum to Ethereum on a low dollar amount. It doesn't cost that much. It seems a little cheaper on these low dollar ones if your project will take the Ethereum ERC. And like I said, if they'll take the ERC20, the Tether USDT on Ethereum, you can just send it straight out of your Coinbase. So this is how you do it if you're doing it from your MetaMask. But for most of your projects, like the ones that we work with, we're on Binance. So we're going to use the USDT with the little yellow icon, and we're going to be swapping from USDC on Ethereum directly into Binance. And you could say max, and let me just show you the difference in the cost. If you are going through Binance, you're going to get the $113, almost $114 really, because it's 13.98. if you go into a swap on ERC20, let's just suppose it'll take that USDT tether. And you can see, well, actually tonight, it looks like, we tested this a few times, and sometimes the ERC20 saves a little bit of the fees, but it looks like tonight, it looks like your ERC20 is actually going to cost more than if you go in with Binance. And it's actually kind of funny because depending on the time of day, sometimes these networks, their fees go up and down based on when you're transferring. And in tonight, when I'm doing this right now, I'm actually getting more funds going in through the Binance side. And that's often the case, but not always the case. On the lower dollar, it really doesn't matter. On those larger numbers, you'll have to watch some of the projects don't take, coins coming in through Ethereum because of those fees. Or they might take it only on the low dollar side. But like it's showing tonight, it looks like our best route to go through is the Binance BNB20. That would be the best swap to do. Now, I also want to point out too, whenever you send funds out of your MetaMask, it is pulling from your gas fee for that chain. If you decide to fund the Ethereum side of the project, if it'll take Ethereum ERC and you're going to fund from Ethereum, just note that sending funds out of Ethereum costs a lot of gas fees. You might remember we had about $3 and I upped it and it was going to be 4 or 5, and then I did some swapping and it's already eaten some of my fees in here. It's actually quite a bit of my fees are eaten compared to if I was in the Binance Smart Chain and sending out from this chain. The fees are only pennies, whereas on Ethereum it's dollars. So sending into a project from Binance, you save a lot going to BNB. And so even tonight, BNB has dropped its fees to the point where even conversions out of the Ethereum into Binance are cheaper. So just watch that as you're playing with your funds inside your MetaMask. Generally, on occasion, maybe on the lower dollar, it might be cheaper to send out through Ethereum if the project will take it on that. But on your larger dollar amounts, usually we find the best route to go is to go through the Binance Tether, and it looks like this, and you can just swap it right out of your USDC, swap it straight into that Binance. Using the swap button, you just click on the token and click on that, and then you just select the coin you want to go to. Generally, that's the route you're going to want to go. Binance Tether, USDT. On the Binance side, from the Ethereum USDC funds that you brought in, you hit max, and it will calculate out what you're going to get. All right, so that's it. From here on out, if you go into a project through that, let's suppose we were to do that conversion tonight on Binance, you click on the tether. Let me just show you real quick to send this out. You click on the item, and let's say I was going to send this in. Obviously, this is way more than that 114, but I've been saving some funds in here in my tether. Let's say I wanted to send it. You click it like this. You go to the project you're investing in, and you get their wallet address for your token. In the case of this, it would be your BEP20 Tether USDT BEP20, and that would be the wallet, whatever wallet address they give you. And then you decide on the amount that you want to bring in. You can hit max, or in the case of, let's suppose we were just doing what we brought in from Coinbase, then it'd be, whatever that conversion is for your brand new project that you're testing. It's a good idea on a brand new project just to start with maybe $100. See how the project is working. Are they paying out? Unless you have friends that are already in it and they're telling you, hey, this thing is really good. It's a fairly new project. New projects are good because if they are, or they turn out to be a Ponzi scheme, you're more likely to get your funds back when you invest the earliest version time of the project, like in the first few months, it's a really good time to get in. If it does turn into a Ponzi, at least you can get your funds out quicker. That's the goal anyway, all the time. And then like get it out. If it's a 2 months or 4 months to get your investment funds out, then do that and then compound from there. That's our strategy. Get your funds out first, and then you're in zero risk as you're working with that investment. All right, so hope you enjoy your investing through crypto on various projects using MetaMask.